In terms of pretending, I try to do it at least once a day, if not longer. I feel a lot better and I get to see myself as I would be or should be, rather than as I am. Myself a few times by injecting medical grade alcohol into the limb, but there was intense pain, more pain than I anticipated, because you could actually feel the alcohol drying up the muscles. There was a sense of feeling of success. You couldn't move it, but after 8 hours it was fine. I got put in contact with a man who was regarded as what's called a gatekeeper, and he knows the names of surgeons who are willing to do an amputation for a set fee, and what they would do then is they would give you documentation to say it was an accident. I paid this man in total just shy 20 grand. It turned out to be a massive scam, and I look forward to speaking with her again and seeing what she comes up with in the terms of treatment. If a choice came for an amputation, I would jump at the opportunity.
I first developed the idea that I need to be blind when I was around 6 years old. I was told by my mother that if I looked into the sun, I'd go blind, and so I stared into the sun for hours on end. Thinking about being blind made me feel comfortable. I was blind simming, which is pretending to be blind. Becoming blind was definitely a difficult decision to make. I tried to avoid it, but it kept coming up in my head, and by the time I was 21, it was a non-stop alarm that was going off.
Jewel took the drastic decision to blind herself. She found a psychologist willing to help her, and after 2 weeks of working together to make sure she was ready, they carried out Jewel's plan.
I laid down on the sofa and he sat next to me. Dropped 2 drops into each eye. Over about 6 months, the sight in both eyes slowly went away. I was so happy. I felt that this was who I was supposed to be.
Chloe Jennings-White spends her days confined to a wheelchair. It's tough to get around, and she struggles with living in a world that isn't built for the disabled. However, Chloe is actually able to walk perfectly and chooses to live her life like a paraplegic due to a rare psychological disorder called BIID.
From about 10 years old, I somehow got the idea to bandage my legs when I was home alone so nobody would know what I was doing. I sort of fabricated a leg brace so that I couldn't bend my knee. And walking around like that felt, oh wow, this is how it's supposed to be. It's about having a car wreck and becoming paraplegic from a car wreck. I did find a surgeon in another country who would be prepared to do femoral and sciatic nerve transections to paralyze my legs. It would be at least $25,000. I don't have the money to do it. That's basically the only reason that I've not yet had surgery.
Okay, why did you cut your leg off?
I didn't want them. My brain just kept saying get rid of them, so I had to get rid of them.
What kind of things have you done to get your legs?
I've injected my knee with my feces, 120 cc's under my kneecap, just liquefy it and pump it in. I've with razor blades. I've drove nails in the bone. My brain would just say get a 16-penny nail and a hammer and drive it in the bone, and I just drive it in the bone. The night I took my first leg, I took a tourniquet, and I tied the leg off with the tourniquet. Got the leg numb. Let the circulation cut off for 40 minutes. So after about 40 minutes, the foot turned purple. And when the foot turned purple and went cold and I couldn't move it no more, so I looked at the saw, I looked at my leg, looked at the saw, and I said, well, it's now or never. Either I'm going to do it now or I'm not going to do it. I grabbed the saw, I picked it up, and I put it on my leg,